Hey everyone, my name is Kyle. I am getting ready to do my first shop tour video. It's actually my first YouTube or woodworking video I've done. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start making some videos. Don't expect too much from me, but I at least wanted to do a shop tour, mainly because we're getting ready to move probably soon, and I kind of wanted to document what my shop was like. I started woodworking probably about 2 years ago, and my main reason for starting it was because I got tired of buying crummy IKEA furniture and furniture that you would buy and it would break after a year or it would splinter and not look good anymore. So I wanted high quality furniture, but I'm cheap and didn't want to pay the price. So I literally bought a couple tools and said I'm going to start building some of this stuff myself, and I did. And now every project I try to buy like one new tool, and my garage is starting to evolve. Um, Even in the last year, I've started to develop what I want my garage to be like, and actually, when we move in a couple months, it'll be a good start over point to what I want to keep and what I do. So let me go ahead and get started and show you what I got. Alright, so this is my April 2015 shop tour. It's my first shop tour I'm going to be doing. Not very much here to look at, a little bit. You're not, nothing too impressive, but this is my starting point. So like I said, when we move to our new house, I'm going to really be able to plan out what I want more. So I guess, so this is my first workbench I ever got. Is actually a hand-me-down. Like a lot of this stuff is going to be a hand-me-down. This is a hand-me-down from my brother from when he moved. He gave me this workbench that he built. So I got this before I even started doing anything. It was just a workbench I put in my garage. I put up the pegboard behind up here, and that is not something I'm going to incorporate into my next house. I'm probably going to want to do French cleats wherever I go, or think about putting plywood backing so I'm really want to start making my own custom holders for all my stuff, because I don't want to be stuck with buying these little peg holders. They're not very efficient, and like you see my clamps, I need some more room and some more able to hold more weight. So this is just some of my random stuff. What else? So I got my stereo, which is actually a mini disc player, a mini disc CD. For whatever reason, I was big into mini discs back. If anyone even remembers what a mini disc is, was from Sony. And I did get those two new. These are my newest, some of my newest tools. I did get one. I finally got an impact driver, which I've been wanting for a while, and it was so great when I finally got it, because I finally went around the whole shop and finally drove all these screws in that had been sticking out that I could never get in with just a regular drill. And having that has been great. I've only had it for a couple months now, and I went ahead and bought the matching regular cordless drill, so I have a matching set with two batteries. Anything else to look at over here? Not really. Bikes up here. My garage is pretty small. The garage I'm moving to is actually even smaller, but I think I can make it work with the way I'm doing it. So this table right here is actually, I needed some more room for some of the bigger projects I was doing, and I found this hollow crummy door in the attic. It was a closet door from our house that I guess wasn't being used or was extra, I don't know. But I was like, well, let me just make a quick table. And my quick table turned into something now I use every day. But I grabbed some 4x4s and 2x4s, busted out a frame leg, and as you can see, there's holes in it. I've dropped stuff on it. It's pretty nasty. I am going to redo this. Probably I'm going to take this apart when I move. When we move to the new house, I'll keep the frame, but I'll probably do a double plywood, so 1.5 inch top, and brace the bottom better side to side, and put a shelf underneath, and try to put like a vise on it, maybe some holes for bench dogs. Not really sure. I don't see myself building like a huge table right now. Maybe that's a future project. This board on top is actually my latest project I'm working on. This is a cabinet, a drawer face for my daughter's bed I'm building. Well, actually, my very first project I did was a bed for my daughter, and she It was a big loft bed with stairs and a playground, a little play area underneath, and it was like a bunk bed kind of thing. And she grew out of it, so we sold it. We actually sold it for still years later. She used it for years, and we sold it, for quite a bit of money. So this is the last piece of her new bed, which I'm building, which is a Trundle Pullout Daybed. The original plans I was looking at, I look at a lot of plans in a white. I know it's not the most advanced woodworking stuff on there, but I do use it, look at the pictures, look at what people have done, and I'll take the plans and modify it. Like this one, they wanted 3 separate drawers, I think, on the plans, and most everyone was doing that. And we wanted one big drawer, so if we did want to use it for a trundle or put a mattress under there, we had the option of doing that in the future. So when I get done with the bed, I will post a full video probably, or pictures. If you follow me on Google Plus, I have been posting some pictures. I try not to post too many pictures until I'm done with the project, although maybe if I start making some more videos, if I have a big project, I'll do updates on them. So this is also my first time using chalk paint. I'm doing homemade chalk paint, which is just plaster of Paris mixed with a white latex paint. So I don't really tell the difference, but I never paint anything white. White's not my thing, but my wife loves white stuff. Design. My wife's actually a designer, so especially when we move to a new house, we should be doing a lot of big projects, and I should be getting some videos in on the stuff, but I can't really tell the difference on what this chalk paint does. I guess it goes on really thick. I think it turned out okay. The only thing with it is you can't use polyurethane on it, which is primarily what I use, is polyurethane to seal everything. So I am using a wax to seal it, and with this chalk paint, it is going to take about 4 coats to get it how I like it. So I just have to fill in some little sand, some spots on this one, because this is the front of the bed, so I want it to look really good. So over here, if you can see my miter saw station, which I built last year, 2014, probably about 6 months ago. I'd kind of looked at plans. I really just went to the store and bought a bunch of wood and just threw it together in a weekend. I haven't got as much time in the garage because we do have a smaller child, which means now I can't be in the garage too much anymore because someone has to be watching the smaller child, and since my wife works from home, any time I have is in there. But I do get some time in the garage, not as much as I'd like. This is still a working project, this miter saw station. I kind of just threw it together. I still use the miter saw the most, probably. I don't know why, I just like it. It's just easy for me to grab it. I always have it plugged in. I do have a Milwaukee circular saw that I invested in that's really good. I don't use it as much, just to cut big boards. So this is my miter saw station. Not too much to look at. I do probably want to put some drawers in these spaces. I thought these spaces would be so great, these spaces in here, to put scrap wood and stuff, but it just becomes a mess putting scrap wood in there. It's not organized. Maybe I could organize it at one point. And as you can see over there, I kind of have a big pile of scraps. I'm sure, like most of you know, organizing scraps is not something I have come to grasp with yet. Again, I have plans when I move into the new house to either build some sort of organization, hang on the wall, hang from the ceiling system, and I probably, if I knew we wouldn't be moving, have done a lot of this in the house. You can see these 2x4s up on the wall. When we first moved in, I threw those up there so I could hang just yard tools and stuff up there, but as I became to do more woodworking, I wanted this space to build this miter saw station. And I was going to put French cleats up there and have a whole French cleat system along this wall and kind of be able to hang whatever I want. But I'm not doing anything like that because, like I said, we could be moving. The biggest issue I have is big board storage, because I'll get full sheets of 4x8s and I don't really have anywhere to put them. I was going to kind of do something on the attic, maybe up there above the garage door, but again, we're moving, so that's probably something I'll do at the new workshop, is just only 4x8s up there, big 8-foot long pieces above there, because I have some friends that do storage above their garage for scrap wood, and if you put too many scraps up there, you'll just never get to them and never use them. So I don't know if I'm going to do a cart, or maybe I'll do a cart just for smaller wood. My shop isn't going to be big enough to do a 4x8 cart. That'll just take up too much room in the garage. Maybe I'm going to see how things turn out. Like, as you can see, I have a full 4x8 sheet in my truck right now. We're getting ready to do a project for this week that we have to bust out. So miter saw station again. I'll probably do some drawers, like right here. I know it's kind of shallow drawers, but we'll see. I might end up incorporating some more shelves. Maybe one section I'll do pull-out drawers over here. But that's all later. I think I will. I'm going to take this miter saw station with me wherever we move. It's not going to be a pain, but I think I'll do that and just expand it from there. I can always add shelves to the back of it too. So looking at some of these tools, recently this air compressor, and it came with a nail gun. It's still entry level, but I have been using it a lot. It's so nice to have one. There's so many little things, like attaching these borders on here I did with the nailer, and you would almost have to use screws or just glue up everything and wait for the glue up to dry. So having a nailer is really helpful. My miter saw is a 10-inch, I believe, DeWalt, and this is the first pretty much real tool I ever bought. I still tell people I would get a miter saw first, just because they're so easy to work with. I know getting a big circular saw for me was kind of didn't really know how to use it properly and how to cut straight with it. A miter saw, I just think it's so easy. But as I get more tools, I'm using it a little bit less and less, but it still is one of my main tools. I'm so glad I bought it. I do kind of wish I had one where the arm extended, but you know, there's always time for that. Wishful thinking. This router I got at a yard sale. A friend of mine sold it to me. It's a 2-horsepower Craftsman. It works really well. It's almost a little too much for me to handle, honestly, because this is the first router I've ever had. I've used it maybe about half a dozen times. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I used it to do some rabbets on this bed. I did rabbets for the drawer on the bottom. And it worked out fine. Every time I use it, I'm learning something. My table saw has an insert. I'll show you my table saw in a second. Has an insert for a router, and I do keep it under there sometimes. I've used it under there, but I still probably do want a smaller handheld router too, because that one's kind of big to handle. This drill press is actually brand new. One of the latest things I bought on Craigslist. I got that drill press and this Ryobi sanding station from the same guy for just about $100 for both of them. I thought that was a great deal. I've been wanting a drill press for the last year. I don't have tons of uses for it, but I just also got this Forstner bit set for Christmas. I haven't used them because I haven't really had a need for them. I've had tons of projects in the last couple of years where I would have loved to have it, and now that I have it, I haven't used it yet, but I will. My drill press. I want to build a drill press front. I think I found some plans I like from Daybed. His with the adjustable fence with some drawers underneath it. I think I'm going to do that to store my router bits. Not necessarily router bits, but some other bits for the drill press. And if I need it, I'll use it right now, but that'll probably be something when I move. I'll set up a station kind of for that. And I actually don't have it here, but I actually do have a bandsaw that another friend handed me down. So I'll probably set up like a bandsaw drill press station at the new house. The sander, really good deal. I think I got it for like $20. I probably still will, but I'm have a list on my list. I was going to build a 12-inch sander with some plans I found online. I've seen lots of YouTube videos of people building their own sanders. Just out of a used motor, 1/2 horsepower motor or whatever. I was going to do that because the only sander I have is a little handheld cheap Black & Decker orbital sander. It's okay, but obviously it's really nice to have a belt sander like that, and even it has the little miter gauge station right there, and that's a 6-inch disc. So I haven't really got to use it yet. I took it apart, lubed it down, cleaned it up, put new sandings on it. But I'm sure that will get a lot of use. in the time to come. It's pretty much for my miter saw station. I mean, this right here is my fence for my circular saw. I still need to make something for when I cut. I have been cutting 8-foot boards. I usually try to get them at the Lowe's or Home Depot to cut an 8-foot board down for me, because I just have a hard time cutting 8-foot boards straight. I do have some jigs and stuff to help me with that. I just need to make something. That I just haven't gotten around to it. As you can see, I kind of do have some board storage down here. Not ideal solution because I throw pieces down there and I have no idea what's down there anymore. I know I have some good cabinet grade plywood, 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch that I want to use. Probably for that drill press fence. I'm hoping I have enough to where I don't have to buy another sheet. Because I do not have a place close by me that has cheap plywood. I'll have to find a place and buy a bunch of sheets, but paying $50 for cabinet plywood, 3/4 inch, it's kind of expensive. So this is my table saw. It's a BT3000, Ryobi BT3000, I believe, like system. It's kind of angled right now because it is on a movable base station. But I got this also hand me down. A friend gave it to me for a great price. He kind of got a new saw. I feel like I'm ready to upgrade my table saw already. I see all these videos with all these people have these really nice belt-driven saw stops and all that. Obviously, I can't afford anything like that, but you know what? This works for now. It does have this adjustable miter station right here that you can do. The only thing I really don't like about it is it doesn't have T-tracks anywhere on it. I think there's T-track inserts you can buy from Ryobi that are really expensive. I can make my own T-track inserts. It's kind of the way this insert is, the system. It kind of seems like it's a little bit of a pain. But that's something I might do to make some jigs for my table saw. This is the router insert. And this fence, also one of the first things I'm going to be doing soon is building an expanded fence out of plywood. And then also probably doing, just in one big piece, an expandable fence on this side with a taller fence, and then on the other side a router fence with dust collection with a port. And I'll probably just be one big thing that will screw into these little slots right here, and I'll just leave it attached at all the time. That's one project I have. I got, of course, just like everybody, I have a whole list of projects I want to do. So that's pretty it for my table saw. It works for now. I got it pretty accurate. But and then they also the other thing is there's not a lot of, as you can see, there's not a lot of space on there for cutting large boards. So kind of stinks every time I need to cut a large board. I have to do it on the ground, or even, you know, anything more than a couple feet. I have thought about building, some people have built a folding extension for the back and or the side. I am thinking about doing that. This is my joiner. That's one of my newest purchases. I got it last year. It's definitely the most expensive item in my shop. Bought it brand new from Grizzly, had it shipped over, put it together. I get a lot of use out of it. I do kind of wish I had a planer. I'm glad I got the joiner first, just because I do a lot of tabletops. I do a lot of farm tables. I make stuff for weddings a lot. My wife is a designer and does weddings a lot. So I build farmhouse tables, and I just a lot of things where a jointed board is very helpful. Probably will be wanting to get a planer soon. Probably just a little tabletop one, but I do really like this joiner a lot. I like that it's got the adjustable wheels because I move this thing around all the time. This picks up so much dust. Speaking of dust, this is my little dust collection system I have. It's basically, I had been using just this rigid shop vac, and you know, especially hooking it up to the table saw and the miter saw, it was just eating up the filter. So I somehow heard about Dust Empty. I don't know if it was on YouTube or whatever, and bought just the cone because I already had pretty much everything I needed. Just had to buy an extra hose off of Amazon and some adapters, And I don't know if you can tell, but I just made a little base and put some casters on the bottom. I think I put 3 or 4 casters on the bottom and permanently attached them. And it works pretty well. I cart that thing around my shop. I wish I had a permanent kind of dust collection set up like a lot of people do. But I don't. But, you know, carting this around just a few feet isn't that big of a deal. Like my miter saw station, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a hose over here that comes out, and I just take this off and plug that one in. This is kind of its home over here anyways, so when I use the miter saw a lot, I can just hook it up right there. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, hopefully I can get some more videos in. If anyone has any questions, just leave a comment or shoot me up on Google+. If anyone has any recommendations, I would love to hear them, or any tips, because I'm still kind of new to this. But I'll see if I can get some more videos in. I'll do an update on this bed. I'll probably do a video. And then, especially when I move and I set up my new shop, hopefully I'll be doing some more videos and shop tours, especially just the progression. You know, since this is only my 2nd or 3rd year doing this, it'll be interesting to see years from now, if I'm still doing this, how my shop has evolved. So thanks for watching, and check back later.